Why? Down
Buddy, where are we going this week? Are we going anywhere? Are we going to Japan?
I'm turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
No. We're going to Germany, aren't we? Yeah, we're going to Germany.
99 Kriegsminister, Streichholz und Benzinkanister.
And why is that? Because we're looking at how to get into Leica World. You want to get into Leica World?
I don't know.
Have you had dreams of getting into Leica World? Many of us have. Dylan, what?
Tired.
Dylan's tired? Oh. Well, I don't know what that guy has to do with getting into Leica World. Hey, look at that. No broken arm, right? Woo! Dylan got his cast off. Yay! Anyway, if you ever wanted to get into Leica World, we're going to talk about how to do so. So grab yourself something to eat or drink. Get yourself comfortable. Grab yourself something like an M9, something to get yourself into Leica World, and let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and normally Dylan, who's outside watching some TV because Daddy's banished him from Camera Talk this week since I be talking Leica.
What the fuck?
And he'll only interfere with what I'm trying to get on about. So anyway, just as the intro says, my topic this week is about getting into Leica World, right?
The wonderful world of Camera-Land.
You know, many of us, including me, this is how I started. You know, I started off with some Canons and Sonys and whatnot, always lusting after Leica. Was always like, oh, I wish I had a Leica, I wish I had a Leica. And one day I found in, what was I looking? Facebook, of all places, Facebook Marketplace. And I saw an M9 that was for sale. And it was 2,000 bucks. 23. Oh, how much was it? Maybe 2,500. Something like that. Anyway, this is like 6 years ago now. And anyway, so I contacted the guy, had him bring it down to the university, and I checked it out. And, you know, this is what he delivered to me. So here's my M9. And it came with Voigtlander 35 millimeter 1.4. And so I bought it. You know, I held it, and that's kind of what happens too, is when you hold a Leica for the first time, you're like, kind of like, wow.
That's what she said.
It's kind of like, wow, what an experience, you know, to just hold it.
That's how you use it.
And you know, looking through the viewfinder and playing with the focus tab and everything to get everything lined up, it was kind of love at first sight. Sold me on it right off the bat.
I like you a lot.
So so I bought one. And you know, I still obviously, you know, I still have A7R2s and my Canons and my Ricoh GR3 and my, even though this is a Lumix Panasonic, it's also a Leica. If you ever have a Deluxe, Leica Deluxe, the exact same thing.
Same, but different. But still same.
Little software differences and no red label on here or anything else, but it's a Leica lens. You know, it's the DC Vario Sumilux 1.7 to 2.8. Again, it's it's one way to kind of get into Leica World. Now, anyway, so that's kind of what got me down the road. So I still use my Sonys and my Canons and my Panasonics and my Ricoh and everything else, but if you want to get into Leica, it's always the first thing that crosses everybody's mind is, well, it's expensive.
No shit, Sherlock.
And it is expensive. Now, if you're swimming in money and you have boatloads of cash in the bank and everything else,
Oh, yes.
then go out and get yourself an M11. You know, because that's what I'm going to mostly talk about today is the M body, because I don't have the SLs or the Qs or any of the others. So M's are what it's the traditional Leica body. So M11, $9,000. $9,000. Wow.
Get the fuck out of here.
So if you're going to buy that, you might as well go and buy a Noctilux for $12,000 to go with it. So hey, why not? Or get an SL2 for $3,700 or a Q3 for $6,500 or so. That's fine. If that's what you want to go out and spend your money on, that's great. I'm not going to tell you not to buy it. But
Like big butts and I cannot lie.
Sony, Canon, Fujifilm, Nikon, they're not cheap either.
What?
I mean, a Canon R3 will set you back like $4,800, and it's only a 24 megapixel sensor, you know, for $4,800. You know, you can get an M10, which is what I have here. You can't buy them brand new anymore because they don't make them, but you can get a used one for like $4,000, $4,300 or so, and it's a 24 megapixel. So again, you're looking at Canon 4800, Leica 4300, or Sony the A1 is like $6,500. Holy shit! $6,500. That's the same price as a Q3.
Holy crap.
It's expensive, right? And as I say, everybody's like, oh, Leica's so expensive, Leica's so expensive. So is everything else. Or a Nikon, the Z9 is $5,400, $5,400, right?
No way.
Now these are just body, no lenses or anything else, just the body, right? Whereas in the Q3 comes with a very nice, you know, Summilux lens attached to it for $6,500. Hey, can't complain about that. But if you're like me and you're not swimming in money and you're not super rich, then used is the way to go. And
That's what I'm talking about.
that's what I did. As I just told you the story of my M9, you know, $2,500 or so came with the 35 millimeter Voigtlander lens, and then a year later, again, lusting after more, the M10, just so I could round out to a 24 megapixel. And the M10, you know, that again in this is 2019, I spent $4,300. That's the same price as they are today. If you go to B&H, $4,300, or an M10R, which is a 40 megapixel, $6,800. So it's a little pricier than the Q3, but the M10R is a popular one as well. Now the bodies, of course, they come and go.
What you talking about, doctor?
But the lenses are where the money's at.
Yeah, baby.
The lenses are the things that last you forever. And when I mean forever, I mean forever. I mean some of the first ones that I bought was the Sumar, the 50 millimeter f2 Sumar from 1933. 1933.
Holy shit.
That's a long time ago. For how much did I spend for that? $250 for this Leica lens. My other one, this one here, I think, Sumitar, which was the next one after the Sumar, and it was my cheapest one. It's one I got for $200. $200. Can't complain. Then I got the version 1 Summicron, and again these are collapsible lenses, but the Summicron, where's my price list on here? Summicron, how much did I pay for this one? $600. $600 for this thing. Now, for most modern lenses are somewhere around there, or if not more than that. So they're very pricey. They're very pricey as well. But used, as a, the moral of the story is, if you want to get into Leica-Land, then used is definitely the way to go.
Cheap bastard.
Because spending a boatload of money on top of the line, again, the M11 and the Summicron, EPO, or
What the fuck is that?
Apple, sorry, EPO, the Apple Summicron, $8,000, $9,000 for a lens, or the new, this is the 35 FLE, or the new version of that, which has a close focus of what is it, 45 centimeters or 65, 60, I forget.
Memory is fine.
This one, this was the only one, well, not the only one. It was one of the two that I bought brand new. This one, the FLE, is $6,000. $6,000. Well,
Holy crap.
I just happen to have that much extra laying around, and I wasn't just laying around, but I used it. Bought myself an FLE because there was nothing on the used market here in Vietnam that I could find. So I really wanted one of these, and I bought it. But everything else was used. All these things, even my 50 Summilux spherical is $3,000 when I bought it. Again, used, but these things will outlast you, and so spending that money on that is not a risk. Now, with that said, again, you can go to places like B&H
Rich, smooth, buttery bokeh.
and get used ones. So that B&H has used M10s for $4,300, or the M10R for $6,800, or you can go to eBay. You can get the M8, the original digital. I'm not even going to talk about analog cameras. They are what they are. I don't shoot analog, so I'm not even going to go down that road. But the digital world, the M8 is about $2,300, give or take here and there, depending on where you find it. But with the M8, of course, it was the first digital one, and it was a APS-H sensor size, so it's a 1.33 crop on that. Yay! And it had you had to use an IR filter and everything on it. It was a little bit of an experiment that, hey, people still use that camera today, and it's great if you want to get in at the basement sort of thing and work your way up. Go for it. But the M9, there's still a lot of M9s out there, roughly about $3,000 or so. Again, I got mine for $2,500, but they go for $3,000. Just make sure it's had its sensor replaced, because the sensors had issues with the cover wasn't properly, I don't want to say properly installed, wasn't properly designed, and therefore it led to possible corrosion problems. I had mine was replaced before I even got it, so I don't have to worry about it. It's a CCD. It was the last of the CCD sensors, and it has a cult following.
I don't care.
With the M9, a lot of people think the CCD output is the best. It's the Leica look. But it's an 18 megapixel sensor, which is fine. It's big enough. I mean, the M8 is 10 megapixel. So, but the M10, well, we'll go up to M240 first, which was a 24 megapixel. And we got into CMOS sensors by then. And then 240 is about $3,200, if you can find that on eBay or somewhere. But again, the M10, and then going up to the M10R, which is a 40 megapixel, and then the M11 is a 60 megapixel. It's great to have the big megapixels.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I mean, I have my Sony A7R II that has 42 megapixel, and hey, I can use it to, take pictures from farther away or up close or whatever, and crop in or whatever I want to do with it. So it's nice to have those extra megapixels. But for low light, These are actually a little bit better because of their 24 megapixel sensor size. Works best for that.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Anyway, again, the lenses go with used. I mean, if you can afford a new one, great. But again, running down my list, I wrote them on the board over here. The Sumatar was $200. The Sumar 250. The Summicron version 1 was $600. The Summicron 90, Summicron R, sorry, 90 millimeter, was $650. My Summicron version 3 was $700. My Elmarit 28 millimeter version 2 was $700. The Elmarit 21 version 2 was $1,100. The Summicron version 4, $1,690, paid for that. My Summarit was the other brand new one I bought, the 75 millimeter version 2, so it's 2.4 instead of 2.5, so it's 2.4. I got that one for $2,300. The again, the 50 Summilux was $3,000, and then my most expensive one, the FLE, was $6,000, and it's a great lens, so I'm definitely not going to complain about that. But you can also get the alternatives too.
Deal with it. Okay, and you're welcome.
The other, like Voigtlander and Zeiss, make Leica mounts. And I have the 35 1.4. I've got the 40 millimeter 1.2 for $600. And then I have a 75 Heliar 1.8, also $600. I spent on that. And then I have ones that have been altered. This is the Canon 1960s or 61 Canon Dream Lens, a 50 millimeter 0.95. Yes. And it was $27.60. I paid for this, but it's already been it's had the L mount already installed on it, and it's also had the codes on it as well, so that the body can recognize which lens is on there. Also a very cool, the Dream Lens, very cool purchase. So again, these things will outlast me. The bodies maybe not, but bodies are digital. Not, with anything digital these days, electronics has a limited lifespan.
At least we're not fucking idiots.
If you get lucky, it'll last you forever. If not, it can crap out on you. My M10 already, the sensor board crapped out on me. I had to get a new one for what, $1,600 or so. Replace that. Not the greatest experience with something that was new to me and again kind of expensive, and then have it die on me like that. That's the risk you take with the digital world. But these lenses, again, these lenses are older than me, and they'll last longer than Dylan can take them when he's my age. Whatever. What other one? TT Artisan. I have the silver one up here. It's again another 50 millimeter 0.95. Again, it was $500 used. I think they're $600 to $700 brand new, but this one was used for $500. So again, if you want to get into Leica world, you don't want to spend a boatload of money. Look for used. Of course, you want to check them out. Oh, again, I hear the fireworks going off. It's Lunar New Year here in Vietnam, Tet as they call it. You can hear Dylan out there. Yay, he's all thrilled for the fireworks going out. Anyway, get yourself some used Leica, and you won't regret it. As long as it's been taken care of course. Check it out first. Don't just send people thousands of dollars and hope for the best. Check it out, and you'll like it. You'll like it for the experience, really. Just holding one of these in your hands.
I don't know why guys are so freaked out about that.
almost sells you on wanting a Leica. It's such a different experience than holding a Canon or holding a Sony or a Fujifilm or anything else. I mean, Leica is the experience.
You just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life.
Not only does it produce great photographs, of course, it still relies on you, the photographer, taking great pictures, but it produces some great images. And again, as I said, it's part of the experience. Something about looking through the rangefinder, lining up that rectangle and making sure it's sharp as can be. Is again an experience that you can't really put a price tag on. It's worth it, and that's why we get into the world of Leica.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
That's pretty much all I wanted to tell you about. Hey, are you in the market for some photo editing software?
No.
Hey, you should. I mean, taking your photos straight out of camera are great if you shoot JPEG. But if you shoot RAW, as I do, using photo editing software is a necessity, right? So, who do I use? I use Luminar. That's right, Luminar. Luminar Neo is their latest offering. They've kind of gotten rid of they had these extensions they were selling out for a while, but this year, 2024, now they wrapped it all up into you either buy the whole package or you do monthly subscriptions. Kind of they're going down the Lightroom path. But anyway, it's cool. It's full of AI. It does all kinds of cool things. If you see the slideshow behind me, those were all put together with Luminar. It has things like spot and dust removal. If you're down at the beach taking pictures of things, as I often do, I go to Boomtown. I have an apartment there that, we're going to next week actually. And, I have my wife and son down playing on the beach. Could take a picture. And I've got any kind of spots on my sensor, if it's dust or sea spray or anything else. Let's say I've got a flock of seagulls up in the background. The other flock of seagulls, the real ones, and it will remove those spots or the dust from this sensor and your photograph without you having to figure out where they are, and it knows the difference between a bird and a spot, and it'll get rid of it for you. Pretty cool. Power line removal, same thing. Get ugly power lines. It'll take care of it. You don't have to brush it out, as in the old days of doing such a thing. Background removal, scenery lighting. You can shift the light around the scene. It's not dramatic like a spotlight, but it's still a subtle light shift. It's kind of nice. And so on and so forth. There's all kinds of cool AI stuff in there.
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
And it's relatively economical. I mean, you could buy it outright, and it's yours for life, or you could pay by month. But after the same price you pay by month, I think after like the 15th month, it's the same price. So, my recommendation is you buy the package, buy the thing for life, so you don't have to continuously pay for it. So anyway, do it. It's put on by a company named Skylum, who's in Ukraine. Everybody knows what's going on there, right? So So you're supporting these guys while they're being bombed and everything, putting out some decent software. Updates are free. They're like every month or every 2 months or so. They fix things, you know, new software can be kind of buggy. And they fix it, or try to improve it, I would say. And other than that, how about we get you to support our channel, right? So subscribe. That's right. Subscribe. And a double finger. Not this finger. This finger. Subscribe. That's right. Besides subscribers, what else does YouTube like? They like the thumbs up, right? So you give us a thumbs up, we'll give you a little taste of the thumbs up girls. Aren't they cute? Dylan's favorite part of the show, but he's not here to know about it. He'll watch this video later. So other than that, who are we? Well, I'm Dr. Scott. The loud one out there is Dylan.
D-J-A-N-G-O. The D is silent.
Together we're all Modesty Photography. We're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, lenses, cameras, systems, just advice, you name it, we'll talk about it. So other than that, how about we just thank you for dropping by. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for buying a copy of Luminar through our link in the description below. Oh, I forgot to mention that. $10 discount. If you click on the link in the description below, it goes to Skylum. You buy the Luminar, it takes 10 bucks off. What do they do with that 10 bucks?
Talk it out, man.
Well, they give it to us because I just told you to buy it, right? So that's my reward for that. So anyway, get yourself a copy of that. Thank you for...
Memory's fine.
Thank you for coming back next week. All right, because we do one of these every single week, every Friday. That's Friday Vietnam time. So it could be the day before you, the day after you, the same day as you. Just depends on your funky time warp. So other than that, I think that was it. So thank you for just being you. And come on back next week because you belong here. That's right, that's what I tell my students at school. And where do you belong? This was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and my little co-host Dylan. That's right. So, Happy New Year, Year of the Dragon, and we will see you in the next video. So, I think that's it. All right, see ya. Bye-bye.
Here I am, Vietnam.